Hi there, welcome back to my channel. So today is the Scott October 2022 haul. Like I said in my previous videos, I missed last month. So the last Scott Antique Market haul that you saw was August. So Scott Antique Markets is one of the largest antique markets that happens here in Atlanta, Georgia. They also have an Ohio location, but it's about half the size of the Atlanta one. So the Atlanta one has over 3,000 booths, and the Ohio one has about 1,500. So it's a really big market that I go to, especially as a reseller. There are a couple of vendors there that do bundle deals for really high-end pieces. Very happy with what I got, and we're just gonna get into it. So I don't know if this is going to be a one-parter or a two-parter, but we'll just get started and see how it goes. So this side of the table is things from day one. This time I only went Thursday and Friday. So I'm just gonna start picking stuff up. So this is a Roy 1991 Bluebird of Happiness. So these are very popular. They're American made. This is the smallest size that I've personally seen. So this is my second one. I have one from 1993. This one's 1991. I pick these up whenever I find them, if they're below $10, because they sell very well and they're very popular. So I know people collect these. Like I said, I think this is the smallest one. The largest one that I know of is a double one with like a candle votive base. So they come in all different sizes, but it's very vindicative of the sign on the bottom. So this is Ron Roy, and yeah, Bluebird of Happiness. It's hand-blown glass. This next piece is probably one of my favorite pieces that I picked up. It's this Onyx Stone. It's pretty heavy with this enamel paint. There is no damage to the enamel whatsoever. There is damage to the corner on this side. It looks like it had been dropped, but looking at it from the front, you can't really see that damage. But this is probably a piece that's gonna go up in my shelf, and I'm just gonna enjoy it a little bit. It's absolutely beautiful. If I had to guess, it's probably Victorian era, so probably 19th century, but it's absolutely beautiful and I love it. It's not signed. It looks like it came off of something, but I'm not really sure. I did a quick Google search but didn't really find anything, but I'm sure I can do a better one. Okay, these things, as usual, still have stickers, still need to be cleaned, but they're just freshly out of the box, and I'm just gonna show you. This piece of pottery is this cup or like utensil holder. It does have a signature stamp on the bottom right there. I'm not sure if this is broken. It's not rough, but it's just like a random, you know what? It's probably, so now that I'm looking at it, it's this lizard. He's climbing up the cup. So he made these marks in the clay. And then here, it looks like he took a chunk out of the cup. I didn't even realize that when I picked it up. That is so cool and so unique. So this pottery looks familiar to me, like I've seen it before. But again, I need to do my research. I'm coming to you straight from the show. I've unpacked everything. This stuff hasn't even been logged in yet. So this piece, when it first hit the table, I was like, I have to grab that. I grabbed it before anybody even realized it was on the table. These black etched Native American pieces can go anywhere from $50 to $60 all the way to thousands of dollars. This one is a little bit in between. I found the value of this one to be $200. It's by Manuel, I can't remember the last name, Quijada. So his pieces go for 90 to 250. This exact one, except for without the scalloped rim, sold for $199 at auction. So it might be able to do a little bit better on eBay, only because it has this etched detail on the rim, and because, you know, usually auctions, you're at the mercy of what the piece will go for. So I'm gonna put this up on eBay and see how well it does, and I'm really excited to get more into Native American pottery because it's very in right now. This next piece is a piece that is, again, a very popular piece right now. These Russian hand-painted boxes. These are still being made today, so I'm not interested in the newer ones. I'm interested in the older ones, and the size, the damage on the painting, and the subject matter is really, really important. So there was actually a box of these. They were just coming out of the box. This was the one I picked up because the size is really, really good. There's no damage to the front. The picture is actually a famous painting, so the subject matter is good. And then it has all its original documentation on the inside on this card. It has the artist, it has the location, it has the size, and it also has the date. So the date is 1978, which is much better than 2000s or today, the newer ones being made. There's also some signatures and writings in the front. So there is a signature, there is a date, and there is also the name of the painting all down at the bottom. Very, very fine, finely painted, either like with a pen or something, but the details are incredible in this, and we have found several sold examples, so I'm very excited to list this up. Again, another item that you find all over, especially in antique stores, but I can never pick them up for resale. This next piece, which I'll just show you a couple of pieces that I picked up. This piece I picked up day one. This piece I picked up day two. The first thing I do with glass is turn it over. If there is a signature, great. The second thing I do is to just look at the quality. I picked this one up and set it down several times. I just felt like, because it was signed, because it was so unique with these pulled applications, and then the glass is bubbly, I just felt like it was a quality piece. You can see the ponto mark on the bottom, so, you know, indicating that it is hand blown. I couldn't find anything about the signature, so it's TLO. So I don't know if it's LTO or OTL or OLT. Like, it can be any of those combinations because the letters are layered on top of each other. So I haven't been able to find anything about the artist, but I just felt like it was a quality piece, check, hand blown, check, and signed, check. So anytime you have those three things in a glass piece, it's bound to do well. How well, it just depends on how much the buyer will pay if you can't find anything about the maker. But same with this piece, I felt like it was a quality piece with the swirls and the striping. The color is very desirable right now. The bottom is not polished, but with the signature, I mean, it's very scribbly, but it has the ponto mark, it has the signature, and it is quality. So, by the way, a ponto mark is when they're blowing glass. If you've ever seen them blow glass at the end of a pole, at the end when they're done, they kind of tap the pole, and then the glass breaks off of the main piece of glass that they are blowing from, and then it leaves this ponto mark. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a great indication that this is a hand-blown, handmade piece. It's not a pressed piece. So usually pressed glass will have like a line unless you can't find a pontil mark, because sometimes they'll buff that line out. But anytime you see glass that has like a line on either side, or even just on one side, that's usually indicates that the glass was pressed into a mold or blown into a mold. So either one, it's not a bad thing, because a lot of American glass, like Fenton or Pilgrim glass, a lot of that glass is molded glass or pressed glass, but people still collect it because it's old and the molds are unique to the makers. So one is not valued over the other necessarily, but for identifying the pieces to your buyer, it's good to know these things, where this is strictly hand blown, it's not blown into a mold, things like that. So it's definitely, it's not, like I said, it's not value one over the other, but it's good information to give to your buyers. So while we're on glass, I usually don't pick up clear glass unless it's fantastic. So this also has the pontil mark, but this one is a little bit more factory, like batch made. This is by Simon Pierce, and it's actually a French company that does this glass. It's very thick glass, but when this is cleaned up, it's very clear glass, very pure. So again, nice collectible piece, again, very heavy. This is Costa Boda. So this is an American brand. It is signed Costa Boda. Not all of their stuff is signed. Some of their stuff has stickers. Some of their stuff doesn't have the sticker. Either it's lost or it's not signed. You can see the polished bottom. So these are hand blown pieces, but the pontil mark has been buffed out. I just love the random bubble right there. I hope you can see it. And then this offset vase part right here. It's just really, really cool. Like a very modern, very abstract looking vase. Again, very heavy, very solid. These makers do not make dainty pieces, but they're very collectible. This next piece is interesting. It is otagiri by Japan, for those of you who like your 1970s otagiri mugs. This one is very unique. Usually you see abstract like swirls or geometric shapes, and also the very infamous 70s flower power patterns. But I've never seen camels like this. So before I even flipped it over, usually the otagiri pieces do not have stickers. This one still has the original sticker and the original hand painted sticker, which makes me believe that this was either never used, or it's probably never used, because even if somebody would have hand washed it, I don't think these stickers would have stayed on. So this is a very unique, very cool otagiri. By the way, otagiri is very well known for this splotchy, or like, what would you call, like speckled brown. So even with their flowers, like it can be like muted flowers or like the burnt orangey. So they always keep it in this like brownish, grayish looking. So you can spot otagiri from a mile away. So I thought this was really cool. I looked for other ones, but there weren't any. But I sell single otagiris all the time. People collect these, and when I see them in a cabinet, like at an estate sale, usually they're mixed and matched. So nobody really collects like whole sets, and you can't really find them in whole sets anyways. So that works out. This next mug and teacup set is this matching sunflower set. I actually have a bigger like dinner plate of this, so I knew what it was when I spotted it from across the tables. This is a MMA Modern Museum of Art piece. They are Portugal, 1991. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, the cup says 1991 and the plate says 1992. So these probably don't go together, but I feel like it's a perfect set just like this. The only issue with this lightweight ceramic is you do get some glazed chips, but other than that, it's absolutely like the cutest little thing. And like I said, I have the plate already up on eBay, so I would probably stick this at the end of the listing and say also have or also available, and then I would do the same with the plate on this listing so people know that I have more than one piece and they can do a bundle deal. A couple of small pieces I got. I saw this from across the way, and I know lipstick holders are really in right now. Again, with the revival of the Japanese 1970s retro style, people are getting into how storage and how aesthetically displays looked. And so one of those are like vanities and desks and stuff. So this lipstick holder I thought was really, really nice. It's not the usual like filigree metal work that you see, but I liked that about this. It has this gold and these turquoise little stones, and then when I flipped it over, I expected it to say India or Taiwan or Singapore or something like that. It's actually Italy, made in Italy for Bloomingdale. So that was surprising. So it meant that this piece went from like a $20 piece to like a $69, $89 piece. So I thought that's really, really cool, and it's really, really nice for lipsticks, or you can really use it for anything that you need holding for. This pottery is not too valuable, especially nowadays. The value has gone down. It is Scotland. It's Bouchon by Scotland, Portobello, Scotland. I do have a couple of these pieces. I have a pitcher and I have a vase, a bud vase, and now I have this little, I would think maybe it was just like a sauce bowl or like an open sugar, but I'm still deciding if I'm gonna bundle them with my other ones, like take down my other two listings and just make it into a bundle, or just Google image this bowl and see how much it goes for. But it's really, really beautiful. One of those pieces where I'll always pick them up and then eventually they'll go back up. I find them everywhere these days, and it's really, really beautiful, hand painted. And it's usually, I'm not gonna say always, because you never know in this business what would come up, but it's always, that I've seen, in this baby blue, and then the thistle flowers do not change. So it's always this color, it's always this pattern, it's just the shape of the pottery changes. So that's why I kind of like companies like that, where they stick to one thing and they do it really well, and then you can just recognize they're things from so far away. This is a Pindado Mexico piece. I knew when I picked this up that it wasn't that valuable. This is probably a $25 piece, 25 to 45. But I had never seen this pattern. It kind of looks like Egyptian, geometric, you know, like somebody was sketching a whole bunch of pattern ideas onto this vase, which that's what really drew me into it. And I love black and white. I don't know if you can tell on my mantle right there, I have a whole black and white section. I love black and white, whether it's black and white polka dots, black and white stripes, black and white checkers. I love black and white. And so that's why it just drew me to this, and I'm very happy to add it to my eBay store, if nothing else. This next piece, beautiful glass piece. I could not believe that this was still on the table. So usually what I do is, when the chaos of the opening of the boxes gets too much, and I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to fight, I'm not in the mood to like be aggressive today, I'm just gonna go back and see what I missed on the tables away from the crowd. And so that's what this was. And it was just sitting there and I could not believe it. It's signed 1997, Zaliq in the original box. That's what the signature says. Zaliq Studio Art. Okay, my camera died, so sorry if it looks a little bit different and I have to remember what I was saying. Okay, so this is a solid glass apple, glass green apple. It has the applied stem and the applied leaf right there. Like I said, it is signed. It has a sticker of $60, but the sticker looks very old. I did look this piece up and they sell for $180. So not bad for a beautiful paperweight. So I'm very excited about that. And like I said, I could not believe that that was sitting on the table. This next piece, again, a piece I saw and I knew didn't have a lot of value, but I just loved it aesthetically. And as soon as I saw it, I said, that's from the 80s. And then I looked it up, I looked under, and sure enough, it says Judith, her name is in here actually, there's Judith Stiles, and 1978, the brochure is right here. I loved the pattern. I loved the color scheme. I thought it was very interesting, very 80s. It's butterflies. The back is like the same like the front, but a little bit more crude. And then this is the signature, Judith Stiles 1987. So I picked that up. Probably 35 to 45 on this one as well, or 32 to 42 to be exact. So not too valuable, but it was just really cool. I love the shape, and for anybody who's doing the 80s thing, I think it's a great piece. This came out of a very large pile by the same maker. I think it is either Tim Pierre or Tom Pierre. The other ones were, there was like 4 or 5 plates and like 6 or 7 bowls, and they were all this stoneware, very muted colors, blues, like very warm colors, blues, burgundies, hunter green, and then they had like either like swirls or dots or lines, or one had like checkered squares like randomly all over the plate. So the other ones were like very abstract, and I was like, these are so heavy and like I really don't need any more plates. I hate shipping plates. Then this one came out and I'm like, okay, that is unique. So like I really was admiring the work of the artist. And so I really wanted a piece, but I just felt like the other ones needed to be together in a group, and I just really wasn't willing to pick them up. So when I saw this one with the fish, it was very unique. Again, same with the same signature. It's his stamp or like incision right there. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's right there in the rim. What was interesting about this is I flipped it over expecting to see the holes for like it to be hung on the wall, and it actually does not have that. So no chips, no damage, and no holes to be hung. So I think these were actually meant to be used, which I think is so cool. Imagine if you are eating like some noodles or something off of it. Imagine if you're eating your breakfast off of this. Like, it's just so pretty. It's like, to me, it looks like koi fish, or like it has that Asian style fish. So again, it has a price tag of $30. The price tag looks pretty old. I would probably value this a little bit higher than that. But yeah, I'm really glad I got a piece of that artist. And like I said, if I'm gonna ship something that I really don't want to ship, it needs to be sturdy, which this is. It's very thick, and it needs to be something that is a little bit worth it. So this next piece, again, I have so many of these pieces and they do sell really well for me, so I knew what this is. It is Prussia, which is Limoges. Again, 19th century, late 19th century probably. None of the paint is worn. Well, and even the worn parts, no, it's not. None of the parts are worn. No chips. It is signed by the specific artist right there. I think it says Rima. Beautiful lily pattern with the gold rim. Again, it kind of makes me feel like Egyptian style. No damage whatsoever. No chips, no cracks. My only question is, do you guys have a recommendation of how to get this yellowing off? This was probably much brighter. And the petals on the flower as well. I know using, just from experience, not on this piece, but I know using magic eraser on hand painted pieces like this will take the paint off. So, and then I've already tried just running warm water over it and it didn't do anything. So if you guys have any suggestions of how to just brighten it up a little bit, please let me know. I'm sure some buyers won't mind. Some buyers might have some ideas of how to do it, but I wanted to just show you the mark here on the back. It says hand painted Prussia. So yeah, that's that piece. The second to the last piece that I got on day one is this Fenton. This is called Silver Crust milk glass. So the milk glass is the white piece, and then this clear glass on the edge is what gives it the name Silver Crust. It does have the Fenton mark, so I do believe the ones that are marked are made after 1971. So this one is a little bit newer, but it does have the signature of the painter of these flowers. What I really liked is the flowers are not worn. They're evenly, and then also they're on the outside as well. So I thought that was really, really pretty. And I believe these paintings on these Fenton pieces are unique to the painter of the piece. So this painter might do the same flowers on a different piece, and that's their signature paint. That's my understanding of why they put their signature on some of the pieces. But yeah, oh, here is the line. I hope you guys can see it in here. Can you see the line? It's going all the way up the side of the piece. You can see it a little bit more on the base. That means that this piece is pressed. However, the way you can tell that it's blown into a mold or blown into a press is that it does have the spot of a ponto mark. So it is polished, but this is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but this is the place of a ponto mark. So what happens is they blow it into the mold. So the mold still has that line in it where it's two pieces that are literally making the mold. And so they blow this piece into the mold. So that's an example of what I was talking about earlier. Okay, so the last thing that I got on day one are these two little dainty pictures. And at the time I picked them up. I was like, one is signed Kate and one is signed Jimmy, which I thought it's the same style, the same kind of flowers. Like it should be done by the same person. But then when I came home and I really got into looking at the pieces, which is usually what I do, they're actually thumbprints. So this owl is made out of a thumbprint. So this is obviously Kate's thumbprint. And then this is made out of another thumbprint. And so this is Jimmy's thumbprint. So I thought that was really, really cool. I just did a Google image search and didn't find anything, but I definitely need to go in and search like thumbprint art and see what comes up, because I thought those were so cool and so dainty. And so I'll definitely do some research on the thumbprint art and then see what comes up. Okay, so that is everything for day 1 that I picked up. As I can see, this video is very, very long. So I'm actually gonna end today on day 1, but stay tuned tomorrow for day 2's haul. So stay tuned for that. I can't wait to show you. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow for day 2's haul of Scott Antique Market, October 2022. Bye.